And a heartbreaking discovery early this morning at the Marcy Avenue subway station. Police say two young girls were found dead on top of a train car. And investigators believe this is another case of deadly subway surfing. News 4's Axel Turcios is in Williamsburg with the latest.
Horrible and sad.
This woman says it's shocking to hear two more lives have been lost to subway surfing. You have seen kids doing this before?
Yes, a couple of years back, we saw two kids right here in this station.
Subway surfing is a dangerous stunt in which people attempt to surf or lie down on top of moving subway cars.
They've been doing it for years, and they continue doing it. They see what's going on, and they still do it, so it's just not.
This time, tragedy striking the Marcy Avenue and Broadway subway station in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. The NYPD is saying two young teenagers, one 13-year-old and another one between the ages 13 to 18, were found unconscious on the roof of the Brooklyn-bound J train just after 3 this morning. Police believe they were subway surfing. Paramedics attempting to save the young women's lives, but pronouncing them dead at the scene.
I was like, what's going on? Why are they doing this?
Milvia Rodriguez says she's seen this type of stunt firsthand.
One was 12 and the other one was 14, and they were going that way, and they were on top standing.
Now, subway surfing is something that has been going on for a long time in Brooklyn and New York City in general. They stand on top of the trains and they ride on top of the trains, and it can be deadly. A lot of people die doing this because over the trains there's beams. So if you're not aware of the beams that are coming or you're approaching, you could easily get hit with one of those beams and it'll kill you. Or the train can go in the tunnel and it'll crush you. And this has been going on for a while. Let me play this next video to explain more of what these people were doing. This is a video from about 3 years ago, and it shows kids surfing on the top of the train so you can get a better idea of what I'm talking about.
Natalie, this is new at 4. There's troubling new video showing several people standing, even dancing on top of a moving subway train in Brooklyn. These subway surfers took the video of themselves and posted it on TikTok, and now the NYPD is looking at them closely. News 4's Rana Novini on the Lower East Side now. Rana.
Yeah, and David, in that video, you clearly see that group of people standing on top of the subway as it traveled over the Williamsburg Bridge here behind me. A dangerous stunt that's now caught the attention of the NYPD.
The video shared on TikTok shows a first-hand view. 8 people out for a joyride on top of subway cars as it traveled over the Williamsburg Bridge. The group appears to be having the time of their lives, but now police are looking for them.
No way.
What's your reaction to this statement?
Crazy.
We showed the video to commuters who say while the video is alarming, it doesn't surprise them.
The other day when I was taking the train, I did hear the conductor say, "Get off the back of the platform. Young man in the back, get off the back."
People don't realize how dangerous that stuff can be, and you know, there's this weird culture of like trying to like outdo people and do these outlandish things lately.
Now, that's what it looks like. People do this all the time. The J train is the train that runs by my house in Brooklyn. I have a house in Brooklyn. And that particular J train, well, the J train goes from Brooklyn to Manhattan across the Williamsburg Bridge. And that's the footage that you saw of it going over the Williamsburg Bridge. So I guess people like to ride on top so they can get a good view. But it's deadly. People do die doing this. And it's been going on for years. When I was in 5th grade, that was back in 1973, a kid in my class, not in my class, but in my grade, when I was in 5th grade, named Cicero, he died on the train, surfing on a train. So this has been going on for a long time. One thing that they did when I was young in the school, they would show us a movie about kids who had gotten killed riding on the back of the bus. You know, back in the back in the 70s, kids used to ride on the back of a city bus because the city bus had a bump in the back and kids would stand on the back of the bumper and hold on to the back of the bus, and they would ride on the bus, and kids would fall off and get crushed. And when I was in 3rd grade, this was a long time ago. It's like 1972, somewhere around there. They showed us a video in school, in the auditorium. They called the assembly, and they had a video. They don't do this anymore. They had a video showing us kids who were killed riding the back of the bus to be a deterrent to the kids that were in the school. And we saw kids crushed, smushed, legs, arms with tread marks on them. They showed us this. When we were in 3rd grade, we were little kids, and they showed us this in assembly. They played a movie on the big screen in the auditorium, and they showed all the kids this to deter us from riding on the back of the bus. Now that would be considered abuse. You know, you're showing kids these images of people that were killed. But back in the 70s, they did it. And it deterred a lot of us from riding on the back of the bus. After I saw that video, I had no desire to ever ride on the back of a bus. Now they design the buses without the bumper in the back. They're just smooth in the back, so there's no place to put your feet to ride on the back of the bus. You know, they changed it, you know, shortly after. I guess probably in the 80s, maybe in the late 70s, they changed the design of the bus. So you can't really stand on the back. But yeah, it was a thing. Now, I'm sure they have footage of the damage that is happening to these kids that are riding on the top of these trains. And I know they won't compile a video or make a movie of it and show it to the kids in the school so they can see what the results are of riding on these trains like this. But maybe they should, because kids get killed like this all the time. A friend of mine that I grew up with, when I was a teenager, there's another thing that kids do on the subway. I guess they do it. Now, there's different types of trains in New York. Or the trains run on different types of tracks in New York. Now, what we're seeing in this video are what we consider elevated trains, or trains that's on the L, right? Then you have trains that go into the tunnels that ride under the ground. That's considered really the subway. And, you know, the trains that are above ground, like this train right here, it rides above ground coming through Queens and Brooklyn. And then when it gets to Manhattan, it goes underground into the subway. So it's the same system, but there's different areas where the train runs on the track. Sometimes it's above the streets, sometimes it's underneath the streets. And what my friend Boy did, there's a thing where people stand on the outside of the train and hold the frame of the door on the outside of the train, and they ride. There's a little thin platform after the door closes. There's a little thin platform at the bottom of the train, and then people would hold the side, which has a little lip there where you can grab it, and people would ride that little frame, and as the train is going out of the station and into the tunnel, they would get to almost the end, and then they would jump off, and then they would wait for the next train and do the same thing. And kids used to like to do that. They thought it was exciting, and my friend Boy did that, and he jumped off too late, and he hit the wall. His head went to a coma and died. So this is dangerous stuff that these kids are doing. Kids died doing this all the time. It's been going on since I can remember in the 70s, and it's still going on today. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. Thanks for stopping by and checking me out. And until next time, as always, peace and stay safe.